is Yura, and welcome to this English country and English victory. Today, Marvin Redpost kidnapped at birth, and we came to study for chapter 10, 1 in a million, and we came to study for chapter 10 today, and the other chapter. Oh, there's no more chapter right now, so that means we'll be end up reading this story today. And that means we're having a new book and new stories. Hooray! Are you excited to having a new book and new stories? And now, one more time, so to read about it, some Wayside to beneath the cloud of doom. And we're going to study for chapter 21, Breath, and the end of chapter 22. Okay, and now are you ready for these two book and two story? I missed some lots of characters, and now here we go. And first you can read Wayside Go Beneath the Cloud of Doom, chapter 21, Breath. Stephen stared at a clock on a wall. What if he couldn't lift the mallet? What if he dropped it on his toe? What if he dropped on Mrs. Kiswetta's toe? Oh, I mean Mr. Kiswetta's toe. Could be explained. Breath, said Jason from the desk next to him, and Stephen took a breath. And he stared at the clock. And he stared at the clock again. What if someone left a skateboard on the stairs? Then he might trip over on the way to the going. If he broke his leg, Mr. Kiswetta would yell at him from being late. Breath, said Rhonda from the desk on his other side. And Stephen took a breath again, and he stared at the clock. Sometimes it seemed the hands didn't move at all. Other times he blinked, and it would be half an hour later. Time didn't always make sense at Wayside School. For lunch, Mrs. Minch made a paper-only pizza. And Stephen ate his slice but didn't not remember eating. His only clue was that he was very thirsty and his tongue lips burned, and he returned to his Mrs. Jules class. He stared at the clock. Why is Stephen always stared at the clock? Because clock is naughty, or it's time to go? And Jenny are late coming back from lunch. Sorry, Mrs. Jules, she said. I can't find my skateboard. Oh, Stephen thinking is right. This Jenny's skateboard is lost at the stair, and Stephen might be fell over at his skateboard and going down, and Mr. Kiswetta might be very, very mad and yell at him. Oh, so I think Stephen is very, 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 very clever because he knows what we're going to do. Some skateboard is in the stairs, so Stephen go all around the stairs, and Mr. Kiswetta yell at him. Yeah. And oh no, Stephen shouted. Are you alright, Stephen? Mrs. Jules asked him. Why did he have to pick me? Stephen moaned. If you didn't want to do it, why do you raise your hand? Asked Mac. Everyone else had their hand raised, Stephen explained. I mean, I guess I was excited about at this time, but now you have cold feet, said Mrs. Jules. Yes, exclaimed Stephen. He wondered how Mrs. Jules knew that his feet felt like 2 blocks of ice. No wonder. She was a teacher, but what did he frozen feet have to do with ringing the going? Breath, said Mrs. Jewel. Stop and took a deep breath one more time. And Mrs. Jewel's class always had a music on Friday afternoons. I'm sorry, we don't have musical instruments today, she announced it. They were sent out of cleans, and we haven't gotten them back yet. But what if the going was being washed too? Could we have to bring on a different day? Perhaps the Kathy stopped and took a deep breath. Again and again and again and again. And so, just you used what you were born with, said Mrs. Jules, and a 1 and a 2, and Donna loudly blew her nose. And Ron chattered his lips, and Max puffed Jack in the puppet with flick his finger, and Captain Craven and Baby whistled, and Joyce stood on his head and sang jingle bells, and Pooh pulled Lizzle's pigtails, and she shrieked and shrieked for squirrels and panic on his pool. Stop the music, Mrs. Jules suddenly shouted, and the room became instantly quiet. Stephen, you're late, she told him. I'm sorry, I was so carried away with the music. I didn't notice the time. Time, said Stephen. Now Stephen, said Mrs. Jules. He remained frozen in a chair, and Mrs. Jules asked Jason and Rondell to help, and they moved either side of the Stephen and slowly lifted him to standing position. This time, buddy, said Jason. Time, Stephen replied. He took a step, then stopped. Now, the other leg, said Rondell. He took another step. You can do it, Stephen, cheered Kathy. Oh, Kathy was very calm right now, and banged it going no one ever banged it before, called Joy. And Stephen walked across the room. He stepped at the door behind him and heard an anchor class shut together. Breath. Stephen took a deep breath. Oh, and Stephen was doing lots of breathing. Now, chapter 22, the moment. And moving started forward chapter 22 and the end of chapter 23, okay? Oh, this story is very, very long. Oh, wait. Here they go. And now we'll read one more time. Story. Marvin and Redpost kidnapped a bird. And now, chapter 10, 1 million. You'll have to take another blood test, said the woman in the glasses. You'll need to give a lot more blood this time. Why didn't they just take more blood the first time, said Marvin. It's a lot easier this way, the woman explained. We see about 1,000 kids a day, fewer than a 50 or O negative, so this way we only have about 50 HLA tests instead of 1,000. And she told Marvin to go back in the front desk and get a new number, a yellow number this time. And he walked back out to a main room. It was still full of red-haired boys. They're exactly like you, Marvin, Lindsay had said. Now, more than ever, he knew that wasn't true. The proof was in his head. And he got in line to take a new number from the janitor, a yellow number. 839, called a man in a white coat, and a nasty woman was sleeping at his son. Can't you ever do right, said Child. I'm sorry, said Aunt Ruth. I told you he wasn't a prince. I shoot up and get an elevator, said a nasty woman. And Marvin shouted about Marvin Redpost. Mrs. Redpost. He was glad she wasn't like that woman. And he remembered the time they tried to teach him to ice skate. And she was worse than he was. The boy kept falling down. It was funny. But they both learned how to ice skate straight up. And Marvin smiled and remembered they had hot chocolate afterward. Oh, yummy hot chocolate, right? And he thought about Jacob and Lindsay. He thought about a house with a Redpost in the front. A very, very nice house, isn't it? And Mr. Redpost painted the post once a year. And he looked at a slip of the paper in his hand. And suddenly, remembered of something. The king of the champions spoke a weird accent, and Marvin didn't talk like that. So that means he couldn't be a Prince Robot. Marvin, you're back, said Jennifer. So you're all at the top? She said eagerly. Said Marvin. He stumped his slate and pocket in my pocket. No, he said, I just want to say goodbye. And Jennifer smiled at him. I'm glad you stopped by, she said. And she held her hands out across the desk. Well, goodbye, Marvin. I just like to make your acquaintance, Prince Charming. And Marvin blushed and shook her hands. And his mother, he returned to Lindsay and Jacob. Hi, Mom, he greeted her. Mom? She asked her. Does it mean? Yes, said Marvin. Marvin Redpost isn't die. I'm sorry, said his mother. Yay, shouted Lindsay. He went to the dinner with his family. Yeah, right now. Because it's own at the time, so Marvin didn't mind being the Prince Robot. So that might mean it's family with Mrs. Redpost and Mr. Redpost and Lindsay and Jacob. So it's very, very nice. A week later, the king of the champagne left Washington. They say he's still looking for his lost son. And Marvin felt sorry for him. He thought about all the red-haired boys in a hotel room, but he was different, special. He was the one and only Marvin Redpost. Besides, he probably wasn't Prince Robot anyway. The odds were 1 in a million. Now, the end of reading these Marvin Redpost kidnapped at birth, and now tomorrow we'll read new book and new story to read, okay? And now, did I have fun? Here is English Country. Come back with these book and these are to read, okay? And this Marvin Redpost had kidnapped at birth with Prince Robot and King of the Shampoo and Marvin. It'll be better for now, but we'll see Marvin next time, I think. And now, Wayside is going up the cloud. Up there will be seen tomorrow, but Marvin Redpost story will be better for now, okay? And so lots of fun characters. Some of the kind of fun characters will be better for now, but some fun characters in Wayside School will be not better for now because we didn't the end of reading this Wayside School story. And now, thank you for listening every day, and please thumbs up my YouTube, and thank you for thumbs up my YouTube every day. And have a nice day every day. And now, bye for now. Have a nice day.